Hello everyone. In this video we will be discussing the strategy that you should be using to attempt the IPMAT Indore paper or any entrance exam for that matter, because this is a strategy useful in most of the exams. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. So the first thing is that while you read through a question, just divide each question into three categories. The first one should be quickly doable. The second one is doable, but it would take time for you to solve that question. The third category would be the questions that you cannot do. Once you have done that, just immediately solve the doable questions. Now, what I mean by doable questions is that the questions that would take less than 1 minute to solve. Just solve those questions immediately, then and there, and move on. After that, the questions that are doable but are time consuming, just mark for review those questions so that you know that these questions are doable, but it would take time, and later on you can come to these questions. And the third category of questions which are not doable, just leave those questions, and only if you have time after solving all the doable questions should you come back to in that case only you should come back to these questions and try solving these. Now the most important thing that you need to realize is that in any entrance examination you get the same number of marks for a correct answer irrespective of the level of difficulty of that question. So as long as you solve the strong topics, just you will be able to clear the exam. So just focus on solving the strong topics, your strong topics, because in the end unless they are very difficult, in that case you should try and solve other questions, because at least some questions are easy. This is always the case, right? Once a section is over, just don't think about that. What I mean by that is that oftentimes it happens that one section is very difficult, and once after I'm done solving that, I feel that I have not done very well in that, and that anyways I won't be able to clear the cutoff, and that lowers the motivation. Just don't do it, because you don't know, it might happen that the paper, that section was difficult that year and everybody faced difficulty. So just don't think about any section, just focus on one section at a time, the section that is present in front of you, and don't think about any other section at that point. That is very important, right? Also, a lot of times what happens is people make videos around what is the safe cutoff, what is the safe score that you should be scoring. Just do not go in with a set target in mind, because sometimes the paper might come easy, which we saw in case of IPMAT ROHTAK this year. Sometimes the paper might come difficult. Just go there and attempt all the questions that you can. That is the most ideal strategy, and that is what the target should be. The target should be that you are able to attempt all the questions that you knew that you could attempt, right? So that is what is most important. Don't go in with any specific target of attempt questions, that I will be attempting so many questions. Just don't do that. Another thing is that read the instructions properly. Now instructions are available before the beginning of your paper, so just read the instructions properly, because oftentimes it might happen that there is a change in pattern, and if that happens, the change would be mentioned in the instructions. So just make sure that you go through the instructions and read them properly. That is very important. Now another thing is that read the questions properly and the data properly, because oftentimes what ends up happening is that if I find a question very easy, I might become slightly complacent in it. So just make sure that you are not becoming complacent. Just read the question and the data given in the question very properly and solve it, even cross check it if the need be. Now another thing is that oftentimes it might happen that if the paper is difficult and you are not able to solve the question, you begin to panic. Just don't do that. It happened with me during IPMAT Indore. What I did is I took a minute's break and then took deep long breaths. What that did is it calmed me down, and trust me, it works. So if a situation like this happens with you as well, just make sure that you take deep long breaths, and after that, trust me, you will be calm and you will be able to attempt the paper in a better way. So that is it for this video. Make sure that you have liked the video and subscribed the channel. Feel free to comment any queries that you have. Thank you so much for watching this video.